Welcome to the 2020 Greensteading Summit, presented by the Green Dream Project. This is a special series of videos featuring permaculturists, homesteaders, farmers, gardeners, and people dedicated to sustainable living. We thank you so much for joining us.
My name's Josh, and this here is my little Citystead. I live here at the Citystead with my wife and my 3 kids, and we are very, very lucky and fortunate to have found a beautiful house in town with an amazing full half-acre of land. So as you can see, some of the things we do around here are gardening. Of course, we have a pretty good sized garden going on back here with a greenhouse to try to extend our season. We also do some vermicomposting. You ready? Take this, go fill up a watering can. Dump the food in there. Let's see how good our composting is actually going. There is a ton of worms in there. We're finally starting to get some baby worms. He really likes to feed them with me. Comes out here and likes to dump stuff in there and put a little water in there to make sure they got enough moisture. All right, let's close it up. You ready to close it up? And some beekeeping. The live ones will get them out of there. You made me young when you dawned, swollen arms around the unity of tiny beats of pain and beauty. I'll take Queen Anne's lace. I'll take chicory full in the face. And I'll call you all my friends. And I'll call you all my friends. Holy wow. You made me shiver, you made me calm, you made me young when you dawned your swollen arms and the honeybees, the tiny beats of pain and beauty. Oh wow, look at you girls go! Holy smokes! So you can see this is the outside frame there, and they are already capping honey on it. So I'm probably a day or 2 late in actually checking this. They need more space. Give you guys a little peek inside here. You can see capped honey on a bunch of these frames in here. So they are working away. And just recently I built this stand here so we can start doing some perennial mushroom logs. As you can see back there, we have our first 2 ever starting right now. So I believe that you can do homesteading on any kind of scale. I know normally people would say, oh, I can't wait till I go buy that farm or I get that 3-acre property. And in my opinion, if you're not starting where you're at, then you're really wasting a really good opportunity. Now I believe one of the biggest ways we can make any kind of difference in the food system is a lot more people having this in their backyard as opposed to just a bunch of grass. Now it's actually kind of impractical for everybody to have a massive lot, a bunch of land that they can do a lot of stuff with. So to me, it's really important to encourage and focus on doing a small scale homestead. What do you gotta say? Do you like growing food? Do you like cucamelons? Can you say cucamelon? Well, we've been growing food for a few years. It's only been a couple that we've actually done getting a little more serious about it and trying to actually grow enough food to eat an entire year's worth of stuff fresh out of our garden. And I think that every step towards some sort of sustainability is a really good thing. And it doesn't matter what kind of scale you're on. You could have a patio, you could just have a windowsill. If you're doing something, it's a little bit better than nothing. And it's all skills that you can take and learn and evolve as you evolve the space that you have to grow. There are actually some really amazing small patio space gardens out there, people doing tremendous things in a tiny amount of space. And that's what we're trying to do here, is just encourage people to grow into smaller spaces, use them differently. You just got to think a little bit more outside the box, a little less traditional, you know, by doing things like having tons and tons of cattle panel arches, so you can grow a lot of vertical things all throughout your garden. You can see them all back there. We try to grow tons of vertical because it definitely saves a lot of space and gives us a lot of that real estate on the floor to use in between all our trellis and climbing plants. But something I really want to talk to you guys today about is using a source that I think people don't normally think about, and that would be your local community garden. That's right, your local community garden is a great place to get going on growing your own food. Now, depending on how your community garden is set up, it's going to be different. A lot of places run them differently. The way ours is set up here is that each one of these plots is a different person's responsibility. So it's your own personal garden. What you do with the space that you have is completely up to you. The only rule we have here is that you can't use chemicals, which for us is no problem because we do everything as organically as possible. We like to plant herbs and everything like that in with our plants just to fight the pests. That's what we do. So you can see right here, this is our spot that we have. This is our very own spot. This is 8 foot by 23 feet back, and it's a pretty good plot. And we have been able to grow a lot of stuff. We've been harvesting eggplants and peppers and squash from here. There's a lot of basil over here. We have some watermelons. So just in this little spot here, we have a ton of stuff. Now it is the heat of the summer. You can see our squash plants down here are not liking it. That's a spaghetti squash. We might have to pull that and take it home with us. But you can see what we've done here. We've set up some trellising. We've done a couple different things. Little teepees. We have tomato cages to hold up our tomato plants. We have some arched trellises here to grow our little baby watermelons up, and in the front we're growing cucumbers and other things on that other trellis. So this is what we're doing with our garden space in the community garden, and it is an excellent use of a little space that we have. Now I know some community gardens, the way they're set up is that everybody would come to the garden and they would put in their time and work, and then once a week or so they would make a big harvest and they would split that harvest up amongst all the people that are part of the garden. So like I said, there are many different styles community gardens out there, but there's a good chance that somewhere in your community is a community garden. So you can see here that ours is highly underutilized, which really kind of bums me out because I would love to see all the plots here taken up and growing great luscious gardens. So the way that I found our community garden that was closest to us is we were just going out for walks and we happened to stumble across, walked right by it, and it had this giant sign that tells you who to contact to get a hold of how you're going to get a spot. Now, if you want to do a quick Google search for your area, I'm sure you can find a community garden that way. And if you're having a lot of trouble that way, you might want to call around to some churches. This one is actually sponsored by a local church. A lot of churches will do a community garden in the areas that they have, wherever, you know, they possibly can if they do. So if you're in a town and you can't find one, I would highly recommend calling around to maybe some churches just to see if they might have a community garden that you can become part of. Now, a lot of community gardens are going to cost you a little bit of money. It's like a little fee. Usually it goes yearly. You might pay, like we pay $10 for the slot, and we get to have it for the whole year. As long as they're happy with what we did, we don't get too crazy out of control with it, they'll let us come back next year. But some places might charge a little bit more. I know I've heard people talk about like $25 fees for the year, and all it is to help whoever's running the community garden to come out here. Like, they mow in between these rows. They built this incredible fence all the way around this place to keep all the groundhogs out, and it is a very, very heavy duty fence. You can see right here, it's actually pretty tall. They got it really small chain link at the bottom, and it actually folds under so that nothing can dig under and get in here. It really protects all of us who are growing food here. So some of the aspects that I liked about starting a community garden plot was that it would expand our area. So we do have a lot of space to garden, but having this is just another extension. It's another place to kind of diversify. Even though it's not that far away, it could slightly be different climate wise and do different things for a few different crops. So we were not having very much luck with like beans at home, but here our bean plants are doing very, very well. Another great part of being part of your community garden is that you have a mix of different skill levels here. There are people who have been gardening for a very long time, and then there's brand new rookie gardeners. So if you are a rookie gardener, you can come here and you can meet fellow people who are interested in also growing their own food, and they can really help and guide you along your path as you start to grow more and more food. So if you're somebody who's stuck in an apartment, or maybe you have a very, very small yard and you're just not blessed with that area, finding yourself a community garden spot could really help you expand what you're doing. All right, well, before the kids get completely restless, I should shut my yap and get some picking done so that we can head back home. Wow, I don't know how this guy stuck around so long. Holy samoly! I actually just saw a video on my friend Lindsay's channel, the Homestead Homemaker, zucchini bread. The kids absolutely love zucchini bread, so I'm probably gonna have to go use her recipe and cook this thing up into some zucchini bread, because this ain't gonna be good for anything really at this size. Whew, it's almost as big as my youngest child.
Crack it? It'll work? Try again.
sit with me. Come sit with me, buddy. Come on. All right, sitting by the harvest. All right, look at that. We filled up our... All right, check it out. We filled up our Iobi harvest bag. Overflowing. You gonna carry that squash home? It's a victory squash. Can you say squash?
Yeah.
Can you say yellow squash?
Yeah.
Oh, that was really good. Yellow squash. All right.
Yeah.
All right. You ready to go home and cook it all up?
Yeah.
Tomato.
Yeah.
Tomato.
Up.
Tomato.
Down.
Okay, don't pull that out. Oh, pepper. Can you say jalapeno? Jalapeno.
Pepper.
Jalapeno.
Pepper.
Sashito. Sashito? Eggplant. Can you say eggplant?
Again.
This is an eggplant right here. Eggplant. Eggplant.
Amen. Amen.
Well, before we headed home here, we noticed there's a sign down here that said, make your own garden. This is your garden. Make a bouquet. So, Ensley wanted to grab some flowers to take home to Mom. How sweet. Also, what an awesome idea to give back to everybody by growing a bunch of flowers to make your own bouquets. How you doing there? You got enough? Oh, you got a good handful.
I'm gonna get one more. There.
All right, let's check it out. What do you think?
I think it's very pretty.
Think Mama like it?
Mm-hmm.
You think you need more?
Nah.
All right. Well, how awesome is that? We get to take a bouquet home to Mom so she can enjoy. But that's all I got for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to be bold and grow bold. And as always, we will all see you in that next video.
Once again, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to check out the other summit videos as well. They'll be available for a limited time on the Green Dream Project YouTube channel. Remember to check out the links in the video description for more information on our speakers and to find out how to get access to all the summit videos to watch anytime.